Okay. um, as I started to say, we're going to try to do a number of things tonight. And I really appreciate you, and I've been thinking a lot about how this is one of my last times with you, and teaching confirmation here at Holy Cross has been a real pleasure, which, believe it or not, probably not a lot of pastors say that, think that, feel that, because they don't have such great classes as like I'm experiencing with you. And so I also had that, with your brother's class, your sister's class, and probably some of you also older siblings, Clayton, and so forth. All kinds, good people. Anyway, so this is a little bit out of order, but I'm hoping, because I have this queued up, I am going to play it, and hopefully it will load fast enough that it's worth watching and it doesn't go to buffering, okay? So, and then after I show it, hopefully it works, then we'll talk about it.
She saw it. I'm going to check out those Lakers. I'm with you.
Mom! Mom, do you see what happened to my door?
I spoke to your principal
What?
just now on the phone.
Where's my door?
Privacy is a privilege, Anna.
Where's my door, Mom?
Your door will be returned to you, Anna, if and when you
I
can
need my door.
explain-
You give me that door, or I will kill myself. Can I watch?
Harry.
Shut up! Oh!
I think we can dispense with the drama. And maybe you can just calmly explain to me why you were in detention twice today?
Okay, I went to detention, but that was only because Stacy Hinkhouse kept hitting me on the head with a volleyball.
When is this conflict with Stacy Hinkhouse going to end?
Never. She's an insane psycho freak, and you'd know that if you paid like a speck of attention.
Anna?
What?
I think you know I pay attention, Anna. Enough to know that you got an F in English today?
Well, Mr. Bates is out to get me.
Oh, him too?
Yeah. He just looks for ways to torture me. Like today, the one time Jake even spoke to me, he totally is Jake. He's just nobody.
You say I'm not interested, Anna. I'm interested. Try me.
Okay, he's just this really amazing guy, Mom.
Where'd you meet him?
Detention, but
That's promising.
see, do you see? Why do I even bother telling you anything?
Okay, who's up for Chinese?
Ah! You're ruining my life! I'm moving out the door and never coming back ever again!
Hello. Ah, now, Harry, you're so good now. What happened? Are you happy for your mommy?
About what?
Oh, she's such a joker. Who's catering? Chinese food, good luck.
Well, it's actually all planned already.
Okay, how about me?
Anna, I pre-ordered the Peking duck.
Joy.
Well, I know that's your favorite.
Whatever.
Oh, it's actually
Okay,
in 2
you
days.
think about it, okay?
Okay.
All right, see you soon. Happy dining.
Anna, your door is underneath the back stairs.
Like I didn't figure that out.
Stop groveling, man. Let her come to you.
She'd come with a hatchet. You better go check on that duck.
Anna, do you really think that your surliness is the best way for you to get what you want?
I'm sorry, Mom. I really have been stressing in school, and I deserved every single one of those trips to detention. And I'm gonna apologize to Stacey Hinkhouse and Mr. Bates. I guess what I'm trying to say is, I'll try and do better, Mom. I'll really, really try.
All right, what do you want?
To go to this really important audition that we're having tomorrow night that we can never have again at the House of Blues.
An audition? That's great. Tomorrow, you mean after the rehearsal dinner?
Well, during. But
During, you mean as instead of?
You mean technically?
Anna, I need to talk to you right now.
I think I'm gonna pass on that.
Now! Anna, I am going to make one final attempt to try to understand what goes on in your head.
Don't treat me like one of your patients, Mom. What? All calm and reasonable. Let's talk about it. I really want to understand.
I really do want to understand, Anna.
Oh, Mama, stay out of it, please. Mama,
Okay, fine. They're gonna pick one local band to play at Wango Tango. We were lucky to even make this cut. Seriously, I mean, it's a once in a lifetime chance, Mom. Please, please, please. Why can't I just go? Please.
And what I hear is that my special night means absolutely nothing to you.
I don't even have to ask if my band means anything to you. It's totally clear to us that you think we're all noise.
Look, I'm a walrus.
I do not!
You too.
Anna, I let you practice in the garage. Anna, stop!
What?
Let's talk about what this is really about, okay? This is about your dad, isn't it?
Mom, stop shrinking me. It's not about Dad. It's about the audition. You're ruining my life.
Honey, enough with the drama. Anna, high school is not that hard.
You couldn't last one day in my high school.
Actually, I could, and I would do it without getting a detention.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mom. I'm sorry that I'm the one thing in your life that isn't perfect.
Perfect? You think my life is perfect?
Oh, I know your life is perfect. Your perfect job, perfect boyfriend, perfect patient who worship the ground you
Well,
walk
honey,
on.
you need a serious and bracing reality check if you think my life is perfect.
You could just cut me some slack just this once, Mom.
I am beyond cutting you slack, Anna. But you are not going to the audition.
Yes, I am.
No, you're not.
Why not?
Because I said so. Cookie. This isn't really a good time.
No, good time. Name 明白佢唔話你，你要俾你換手，你將來明白啦，明白啦嘛。
Okay.
咁咪
Okay. Anna, for one day, the entirety of our life is not going to be focused on you.
Yeah, it's all about Ryan now, isn't it?
Anna, put away. Honey. A journey soon begins, its prize reflected in another's eyes.
Honey, what you see is what you lack.
And selfless love
will change you back. Whatever.
Honey?
You okay?
Yeah. Whew.
All right. What? I'm so confused. All right. Joe, could you get the light over there, please? So, anyone want to guess what tonight's commandment is? Fourth one. Do you need to look in your catechism? Yes.
Honor your father and mother.
Honor your father and mother, yes. So, Anna in this movie feels persecuted and misunderstood. Her mom's attempting to provide her guidance and discipline. What advice might you give to Anna and Tess, mom, to help them better understand each other? Anybody have any good, maybe words of advice if you were to meet with them? Yeah.
That they should switch lives for a day.
They should switch places for a day? That would make that a Freaky Friday. Did you some of you see this movie before or see the play done at school?
Why Friday? Oh, I didn't call Friday.
That's just the day They did it because it was I suppose, I don't know, the day before the wedding rehearsal or something. Anyway, okay, anybody else have advice? How might they better understand each other if they could switch places for a day as they do in the movie? All right, well, maybe you'll think of some. So for our opening prayer devotion kind of thing, I want you to open your songbook, the blue one. I put a bunch of them out there for you. You might have to share. Okay, 697, and it's called Wash, O God, Our Sons and Daughters. Okay? Now, 697. 697. This is a song, as you'll see on the top in the little dark print at the top of the page, a song for holy baptism, okay? And I'm going to do the first stanza, if you want to join me, the first verse. And then I want us all to sing together the third verse, okay? So it's not a difficult tune, but I'll go through the first one. And so this is, if you think of it as like parents singing this to their children, this verse, okay? Wash, O God, our sons and daughters, where your cleansing waters flow. But I'm going to change that first line to wash, O God, these, meaning all of you, these sons and daughters, where your cleansing waters flow. Okay? It goes something like this. Wash, O God, these sons and daughters, where your cleansing waters flow. Number them among your people, blessed as Christ blessed long ago. Weave them garments bright and sparkling, compass them with love and light. Fill, anoint them, send your Spirit, holy dove and heart's delight. So where it says compass them with love and light, it's like to encompass, to surround you with love and light, okay? So let's sing number 3. Oh, how deep your holy wisdom, unimagined all your ways. To your name be glory, honor, with our lives we worship, praise. We, your people, stand before you, water washed and spirit born. By your grace our lives we offer, recreate us, God transform. All right, thank you for that. So what I want us to think about, if you need to get your journal out or your notebook, what was last week's big idea? Okay, a little review. It was a short one, I think. Did you find it? Last week's big idea. Yes, Raina. We need time with God. 5 words, right? Yep, okay. We need time with God. That means sometimes you just need to take time out. You need to take a break. You need to be still with God. How many of you have a candle at home that you could light? Okay. If you don't have a candle at home and you want to take a candle home, let me know, because we have a few here that I think are big enough that you could, set it on a table or whatever. And you could just light that candle and then just take a few minutes to be still with God, okay? That can be a time of refreshment. That can be a time of reflection. Just like we heard from Genesis chapter 1, even God in the beginning, after all the work that God did in creation, what did God do? Grace, do you want to get out of the class or what? I heard that. That's not appropriate, especially when we're talking about God, the Creator. It's very rude. Anybody know or remember from Genesis 1, after 6 days of creation, God did what? Yes? Rested. God took a break. God took Sabbath. Yeah. Okay. Now, last week, you all, or almost all, I think we had one audience member plus me, did a skit. And what can happen when we don't rest? When we push ourselves? We just keep going, even though coach said, all right, I'll be back. Just chill out till game time. And then JC had this bright idea. No, if a little bit of practice is good, more is better. And then everybody kind of was like, oh, now it's game time, and I overdid it. So what happens? If you don't take rest, you get tired. You get worn out. We even call it burnout. You sometimes just feel burned out. Like if you hold a match and it just keeps burning, and all of a sudden you're like, ow, I can't hold that anymore. I burned it out, okay? There's nothing left. All right, so it's really important to take rest. And with that in mind, look at what your illustrious co-teacher got for you. Ever had one of these?
Yeah.
You guys get to take 5 in the form of a candy bar. Yeah. So, take one, pass it down. Take one, pass it down.
Hey, you dropped one. Yeah, usually I can only find that one.
Okay, that one.
He doesn't.
Did you take an extra one?
Reese gave me his. Yeah, Reese took an extra. He really does.
All right. And Oslo, if you were here, we would encourage you to take 5. All right. Now, all right, we're doing great. I want you to next pair up with someone, or maybe over here it's a group of 3, 3, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2 in the corner, and you 2. That should work. I want you to get out those envelopes with the 10 Commandments, but remember they're kind of like not exactly the same wording, but you probably, I hope, have spent some time with those, a couple of different class sessions, so that you can put them in order now, more quickly than ever. Dump them out. Dump them out. If you numbered them, don't look. See if you can do it without having the numbers on. If you put them on the front, then don't look. That's a good idea. All right. Miss Jill, should we hand out these 2?
Yeah, you get a prize when you get them all ready. You got it on right?
You don't know if they're right. Well, check your work, make sure it's right. Well, now you can double check your answers with that page right there.
What about right here?
From a booklet where it was like a. Check them off as we cover them in class. So how many have we covered so far? We're in class 4. Class number 4. All right. Oslo, since you maybe don't have that envelope, you could go into your catechism and see how well you're doing at memorizing them. In your pocket. Throw it away later. Or just set it on the front end of the table.
Not steal, protect.
You think you know him? Did you get him? Miss Jill, you got sidetracked.
I saw him
You want your number down, so.
I know. I promise.
4, follow next week, safeguard life.
They're confused with I am who I am. I think we need to get that out.
So,
No, we gotta cover I am who I am. We don't understand that. They've got that a second.
Wait.
all right.
I know.
Well, she's coming
I
around.
am who I am.
Yeah. Sabbath, Father, Mother, safeguard, faithful, property. All right. So what is the in the catechism? What is the one for defender?
It's favorite term.
No, that's not a false testimony.
Everybody get one?
So defend truth.
So just another.
Yes, that's right. Okay. Now we're going to, since you are getting so good at that, Reese, where are you going? Hurry back. So, this handout that Jill was walking around with, most of them are a green sheet that just lists the 10 Commandments on a single page. If you open your catechism, it's probably, are we still on page 4? Open your catechism. No, page 5 now. Page 5. Jill was saying as you were putting these little skinny cards, whatever you want to call them, in order, the first one, I am who I am. That was the name that God gave to Moses when God appeared to Moses in the burning bush, and Moses said, okay, what am I supposed to tell people your name is when they ask me? And God said, I am who I am. And it was like, that's still not a great, answer. It's kind of a mystery. But God is saying, I won't really be defined maybe in the way that other gods, lowercase g, are defined. I am who I am, meaning like I will be what I will be. You know, if you want to get to know me, or you want to get to know Logan, or you want to get to know Asher or Aiden, you get to know them by seeing what they do and what they're like, okay? And so God is kind of saying, I am who I am. Watch what I do, and that's how you'll get to know me. So the first commandment is, you shall have no other gods, meaning I am the one who rescued you. I am the one who delivered you from slavery in Egypt. Okay? So don't have any other gods before me. So that's not super helpful to have the name there, because then the very next one is, what's the next one?
What's the very next one right here? The Lord's name.
Yeah. You know, respect God's name. So have no other gods and respect God's name are the commandments. Don't make wrongful use of the name of the Lord your God is kind of the official language here. But let's look at page 5. Honor your father and mother, and then I have tonight's big idea. But let's look at this. So fourth commandment, honor your father and your mother. What is this? Or what does this mean? Luther was German, and so anybody know any German? Do you? 9?
Yeah.
Okay, very good.
Lady Gaga.
She sings in German? Okay, nice. Well, Luther was very much German, so this was originally written in his German language. And so when he would say, what is this? He would say, was ist das? Can you say that? Was ist das? Was ist das? And that's like what a little kid would say. So these were written, and then the kid would say, honor your father and mother. Was ist das? What is this? What do you mean? I don't get it. So now let's read that together. We are to fear and love God so that we neither despise nor anger our parents and others in authority, but instead honor, serve, obey, love, and respect them. So that's kind of a mouthful, but those are all great adjectives. How do you honor someone? Well, Luther says some of the ways we show honor is to serve, to obey, to love, to respect them. Okay? So what would it mean to dishonor? If you need some examples, go back to the video. How was she dishonoring her parents or those in authority? I know it was going to be her stepfather, and so she was having trouble with that. And that's not uncommon, to be like, you're not my real dad. I don't need to listen to you. That's hard. I mean, I never had to experience that, but I know from kind of secondhand, seeing a lot of families that and young people who struggle with that. That's a big deal. So, one of the things I want to point out before we go into this next thing of sharing the big idea, but most people know their parents, right? But for some, their birth parents needed to hand their calling from God over to someone else for whatever reasons. So it might be that you have adoptive parents. It might be that you have grandparents who are raising you, step parents, or foster parents. Like my mom and dad became foster parents to a bunch of girls. I was in high school. I didn't like this. I was the baby of the family. I thought I would be spoiled, and along comes these other people, and I'm like, they're not even part of my family. So at that time, I was probably your age or another year or so older. I was like, this isn't fair. They're ruining everything because, they were kind of difficult. They came from troubled homes. They had maybe been abused. They maybe had some developmental disabilities, things like that. That just made things challenging for my parents and then for me. But these other people assume the role of parents and generally have all the same responsibilities. So the commandment to honor applies to these people also. This job of raising kids, helping to, be a good adult toward them has been transferred to them. So when Luther talks about this in his, not so much here in the small catechism, well, it does say our parents and others in authority. So that could be a coach, that could be a pastor, that could be a teacher. What else? Or who else? Your mentor. Think of other examples of those that should also be honored and not dishonored. Think of anybody? Did I name them all?
Yeah. Wait, what did you say?
Coach, teachers, pastors, mentors. Huh? A therapist? Yeah, they're in authority. You should respect what they have to say. They went to school. They probably are, smart, giving good advice or direction to help you. How about a doctor? Did you have to go see the doctor? Did you honor the doctor? Are you walking around on crutches because that's what they told you to do? Or do you just throw away the crutches and go, they don't know what they're talking about? The dentist, yeah. I mean, they tell you things that, make sense. And they're doing it to help you lead a better life, okay? But more specifically, our big idea, and look, you just have to tape it into your journal. You don't even have to write it out this week. Aren't I nice? Okay, so take the tape, find your spot in your journal, and let's start. You can put those other things back in your envelope for next time. All right. The big idea. God intends that people and families honor and respect each other. Okay? That many extras? Is the tape coming around? Yes. Don't take so long with the tape, man. It's what it's hockey. Let's go.
I'll need to be in a wheelchair. I can do it
Like that.
talking to her.
All right.
Just touching on it.
Well, 14. You guys are 14 and fine.
Yeah.
No, it's over there in the corner, I think, or at least one of them. All right. Now, this is why it's good to have Jill as a co-teacher. She brought up an important thing with me is, what if someone in authority is abusing their authority? They're not giving you good advice. They're not showing you compassion, care, love. There are abusive situations, obviously.
Like when you're the Cherish All Children, sex trafficking type issues.
Yes. And sometimes that can be someone that should be trusted, but they betray you, or they betray the trust that you've given them. So you have to, be wise about that. If you ever have these feelings of, this doesn't feel right. This is an adult, but I'm just not comfortable with what they're saying, how they're hugging me, something like that, you should then
Go to those other trusted.
yes, go to a different trusted person.
Person that you honor and respect and trust.
Yes. And so that can be really hard, obviously, because you're like, well, maybe it was just me. Maybe it was just something that day that made me feel uncomfortable, or maybe, it's like, the important thing I would say is, I would say, you can trust your gut. If it's really a bad deal, it really kind of makes you uncomfortable, don't just kind of say, well, I guess this is, whatever. Because, my brother-in-law actually was abused by a priest. And he's now like 60 some years old, and he's just still dealing with some of that trauma. He experienced probably when he was much younger than you guys. And he was, I'm sure at that time, afraid to speak out, whatever. I haven't even talked to him about the whole situation because it's really hard. But there are people we know who are not looking out for your own interests. Maybe because they're selfish, maybe because they're sick, maybe because they're just mean. I don't know. It's like, yes, thank you for bringing that up. And clearly, just again, others in authority. This talks about teachers, principals, police officers, judges, camp counselors, and I already mentioned coaches. So those are some other examples. Now we all know that there can be corrupt police officers. There can be a coach that is, like I said, maybe not thinking of others and acting in their role as they should. But generally, honoring and not dishonoring. So I want to ask that question again. If there's anything else you might tell Tess or Anna, why do God's commandments contain specific advice about parents? How might you show honor and respect to your parents this week? What would be something that Anna could do to show respect to Tess? In the movie, what would be something that she could do to honor her mother, which is clearly what she wasn't really doing very well? What? she could work on her schoolwork, get good grades. That would be a way to honor her parents. Is that hand kind of starting to go up?
Yeah.
Yeah, Charlie?
Not getting into detention.
Not getting into detention, yes, that would probably make Tess feel better. So I want to ask now, outside the movie, more specific to you, how might you show honor and respect to your parents or grandparents, a teacher or somebody this week?
To the teacher right now. Thank you, Asher.
Write something down in your notebook or in your journal. How might you show respect to a parent or a grandparent, somebody? Because I think if you write it down, then you might remember, hopefully beyond this class time.
I can show respect by, it starts out, complete sentence.
I can show respect, or I can honor them, I can serve them, I can,
To your mom.
and kind of fill in the blank.
Sadie has a question.
I need a pencil.
Right there, girlfriend.
She can't move.
She can't move.
This group is respectful. You can just say please and thank you, but be unique. How do you show
Sorry,
respect
I'm not kidding.
to your grandparents or teachers? George, yes or no? I can show respect. Okay. Put another one. Fill it up. Very good.
I'm working on it. Slide down.
Did you already write something?
Yeah.
You want to share?
Five.
Oh,
They're writing 5 over here.
5 things,
Well, yeah.
5 ways to honor.
One,
Okay.
2, 3.
All right. So I want to do a little bit of more background, and then we have one last activity. Okay. So some background. In the first 3 commandments, you shall have no other gods. You guys, I'll separate you if this continues. So, first 3 have to do with our relationship to God. Okay? So that was, you shall have no other gods. Do not make wrongful use of God's name. And remember the Sabbath. Okay? Thanks for handling that okay.
What?
Thanks for handling that okay. Did he chuck it at you?
Well, I
Okay.
think it was aiming for Connor, but it hit me.
All right. Well, sorry about that. So these are things. Do you know the difference between what's vertical and horizontal? What's vertical?
This.
Up. Yeah, up and down. So these are things we might say in our relationship with God, in this vertical dimension. Okay? Now, this week, we start talking about things that are on the horizontal dimension, meaning my relationship with other people, or our relationships with other people. Okay? So, that's an important thing. Because when the people were freed from slavery in Israel, God didn't want them to go back. Okay? God wanted them to live as free people. But one of the things with freedom is learning how to treat one another with respect. Okay? So, the first of this, how do we relate to other people, is honor. Showing honor, showing respect. Okay? All right. So, let's see. We often take for granted all the things our parents or grandparents do for us. They have to manage a household. They try to make sure we have all the basics for daily life, like food, clothing, shelter. God has given them the task of providing safety and security. They're called to make sure you are welcomed into each day with love, bring you back to what's good and proper when you do wrong. So discipline is a way to show love, right? If you're going off on a wrong path and not, behaving, it's a loving thing to say, gotta steer you back. Okay? Now, it's not easy being a mom or dad or grandparent or guardian. A huge revelation comes when you hold a child in your arms and then you think, I have responsibility for the well-being of this young child. God knows what a big job it is too, so God expects children to honor those who have been given this job. Of course, honoring parents, grandparents, easier said than done. It might mean holding your tongue. It could mean obeying them. It does mean that. It means showing respect to them. It means contributing to the well-being of the household they're in charge of. How many of you have chores that you're expected to do? Okay, if you carry out those chores, that's a way of honoring. Okay? And so, like, for me right now, have you ever heard people talk about the sandwich generation?
No.
What?
A sandwich generation. You know how a sandwich has this?
Layers.
Yeah, this, and then it's like, so for me, I'm in the middle, meaning I still have children, they're adult children, but they still kind of count on me to direct them and help them, with costs, or like Rachel's car battery died and she was at a gas station. It was like 10 o'clock at night. Dad, what am I supposed to do? She's 26 years old. I could have just been like, figure it out, girl. No, but instead I was like, okay, I'll be there. I'll get down in a few minutes. And I helped her jump the car, jump start it. Anyway, then I also have Ann's parents and my mom. So it's like there's this generation, there's me, and then there's this generation. So that's why it's called, I'm in the sandwich generation. When Jill had both her parents living yet, it added a lot on your plate, right? Do you want to talk about that for a minute or share anything?
Because my father was and my mom in the nursing home for 7 years. They were in separate nursing homes, so we went to visit here from there. And then I have all these grandkids, 8 grandkids, and 4 kids in my house. So, but it's all the joy, like you are torn.
Yeah, and I'm sure that was hard when you were, for a while, going to Amory to visit, going to Glen Haven to visit, and then saying, oh, and I still need to figure out time, when do I see my kids? When do I spend time with my grandkids? Anyway, so it can be challenging. It's also important that the calling to be a father or a mother is not a license to do anything you want to your children. They also need to be, parents also need to be respectful and not do anything to endanger their children, not neglect them. That's always really sad when you hear something like that in the news. Parents neglecting children because maybe drug or alcohol abuse or something, and they are not, taking care of their kids. And so they may sometimes need to be called to account when they are doing something sinful, because children need to be protected, okay? So into those situations, parents' actions when they don't show care for their children, sometimes that's really sad and tragic too, but they may have to go to jail. They may have to suffer some consequences for their abuse or whatever it may be. All right, so I want to end our time with you writing a thank you note to grandma or grandpa, mom or dad, or, as it says, others in authority. If you're like, okay? Nope. Write them a card. Write them a card. They will find it way more enjoyable than just hey, thanks, I appreciate you. I mean, you can do that too, obviously. They would love that.
So, are they handing this to them or do you want them?
I don't know, let's take a vote. Would you rather we take this and mail this to that individual, or would you rather hand it to them?
Hand it.
First, those who vote for hand it to them, show of hands.
Charlotte wants to.
Whichever one.
Who wants to mail it to them?
No.
All right, I guess the hand it to them.
Thank you for being awesome. My grandma was
Yes, you are welcome to mail it if you want.
Yeah, if it's for someone who's further away, obviously, you're not gonna see them for education.
Thank you for being safe.
Mr. School. I guess we got extras. Aiden, you got one?
What?
You got one?
Yeah.
You need an envelope? Oslo, you could write a note, a card, something like that on the front, and then whatever you want to thank somebody for on the inside. Someone in authority. Are there enough envelopes out, or does somebody need an envelope? Don't have one. Hey, envelope. It'll feel more special. Logan, you got one? Envelope? Yeah.
Jason, you made me were dead.
There you go. You need an envelope.
Mom, I love you. From Daisy.
It'll seem more special if it's an envelope with your name on it.
Envelope.
Hi, Granny.
Oh, my pencil.
Hi, Granny. Next time.
All right.
My family's fine.
Mr. School.
I'm tired. Stay there.
It already says thank you for being awesome, so then you can say on the inside, dear so-and-so, I really appreciate you because you know, or the reason I think you're awesome is,
Thank you for building my bed. You are ready, brother?
all right. So Jill's gonna help you wrap things up. I'm gonna go into the sanctuary, get ready for worship. Do we have anyone who wants to be worship assistant? Anyone who signed up?
No, because I had the wrong sheet. The next sign up is gonna be over there.
I can't
Anyone
do
want to
it.
be worship assistant tonight?
I
Abby's becoming.
become a member. Ready, my kid, Eddie. For you.
Oh yes,
With the name on the outside.
we have a special occasion happening tonight.
And what?
Huh?
What's happening? Mom, where? What?
She's
When?
becoming a member officially
Like, what's that mean?
during worship
Like,
tonight.
me? Member what?
The congregation,
What's a congregation? Like Congress?
like Holy Cross Church.
Yes.
We are a congregation of the ELC. A congregation means we congregate, we gather, we get together. That's why.
What Congress?
All right. Anyway. All right, Oslo. Gotta go.
Yeah.